Now, does anyone here know an Angus? And does anyone know someone with the name Angus? That's what I'm asking. Hands in the air if you know someone named Angus. Anyone here named Angus? Okay, hands back up if you know an Angus. Keep your hands up if they're a nice Angus, like you like them. Alright. Put your hands up if they're a bad Angus and you don't like them. A few of you. A few bad Angus. You think two bad Anguses. Oh man, they're ruining the name for everyone else. Don't you hate that? Man, I can just imagine when I get to have kids that eventually there's going to be those names where I'm like, oh, we can't have that name. And Angus might be that name for you. Like if you have a boy one day, maybe Angus will be like, no, I know two terrible Anguses. It'd be ironic if you then married an Angus. Sorry, I'm just spitballing now. But there's a guy named Angus back in my youth ministry back in Ballarat. And he got to, I think he was like 17 years old, and he came up to me one Friday night at youth, and he said, Ben, I want to get baptised. Now, as the youth pastor, it is now my responsibility to help this kid get baptised. So, also for you, if you're sitting here thinking, I want to get baptised, talk to me and I'll help make that happen for you. But what we did back in Ballarat is we would send an email with all of the information that they needed, which is basically what we do here too, because it's super easy. You get all the forms, you get all the details. And so I said to Angus that Friday night, I said, mate, next week, I will send you the baptism stuff. I'll send you an email with all that you need to know about baptism during the week. And then a week went by and we got to youth the next Friday night and Angus arrives and he's walking up and he's paying. I told my senior pastor about the fact that Angus wanted to get baptised, and as Angus is coming in to pay, my senior pastor is there dropping off his kids to youth as well. And he sees Angus and he sees me. Then he looks at me and he says, oh Ben, did you get in touch with Angus about baptism? And I realised that I hadn't. Now we all know when we're in those moments where we've said we're going to do something and we haven't, and someone asks about it, we can do two things. We can lie, or we can lie really good. You know, they're the only two real options about what's going to happen. And I realised that I was in a situation where I really needed to lie, but I was really stuck because I didn't expect this to happen. And I realised after the question was asked that I hadn't done it. And I didn't really know what to say because I couldn't say yes because Angus was right there. And so I remember thinking to myself, what do I do? What do I do? Because I said that I would email Angus. I told my pastor that I would email Angus. And I could either say yes, and Angus say, no, you didn't. And then I could say, I'm pretty sure I did. Did I get your email address wrong? And then he'd tell me his email address and he'd be like, looking at my blank phone, yeah, I got your email address wrong, and just make up some letter that I got wrong or some number that I got wrong. And I was like, I could do that. Or I could tell the truth. So anyway, I eventually said, no, I didn't contact Angus. And it was very embarrassing because all I had to do was send an email. And I was for certain that the next week, my boss was going to call me into his office and be like, Ben, this isn't good enough. You suck. You're fired. Which would be a very big overreaction for not sending one email. But I thought maybe this is something that would happen. But eventually what happened was, obviously the next week I sent Angus an email because I was so embarrassed about the fact I hadn't. And my boss said, Ben, I'm so proud of your honesty in that moment. It would be very easy for you to lie. I was like, yeah, it would have, and I thought about it, but I didn't. And that's the key lesson today. Always make sure you tell the truth and send baptism emails on time, okay? Make sure you do that in the future. But this was one of those moments where I overpromised and underdelivered. And I don't know about you, but I have more than one of these moments. And I'm sure you have plenty of these moments where you made a promise and you haven't quite followed through on it. You said you'd do something and it didn't happen. I don't know about you, but I realized recently that I don't really call my family very often. Like my wife, I do, but my brothers, not really. It's been months since I've last called my mum. I'll be honest, I haven't seen my grandparents all year, and they live in North Lakes. Yeah, and I would see them more regularly when I lived in Victoria. Like, that's embarrassing, that's bad. They're old, like I should really go see them and call them. But I realised that this week because my pa called me. He just randomly called me. You know what old people phones, he was like, "Hey Ben, my phone says I have a missed call from you." And I'm like, "That can't be true, Pa, because I've never called you." No, I didn't say that to his face. I thought that in my head, you know. But I realized that's something that I did do. And I remember that I said to myself, now that I'm up here, I will see my extended family so much more. I'll make sure I see my mum and Pa all the time. And I've genuinely seen them twice in 2.5 years. Like, what is that? I'm such a bad grandson. But maybe you've done something similar like that. You're like, no, I want to see my grandparents more. I'll go see them more. And you realize what happened. Or maybe for you, you've been stuck in a group assignment. Anyone like group assignments? No, everyone hates group assignments. Oh, a few of you, really? Is that because you like doing all of the work for everyone else? Because that tends to be what happens in group assignments. But maybe you've been in a group assignment, and maybe you've been this person, or you've been on the other end of this person. Someone who says, yeah, I'll help, and then you realise by the time you submit the assignment that they did literally 0% of the assignment. You know, they sat there and they were distracting when you were meeting in your groups. They never wrote the article, and you ended up having to write it yourself. They didn't even, I don't know if you guys do this anymore, but when I did group assignments, it was nearly always a poster. And so you had to like glue things onto the poster and then present it in front of the class. Do you guys do that, or is it all PowerPoints now? PowerPoints. Occasionally a poster though? Yeah, occasionally a poster. But we're trying to save the environment, aren't we? So less posters, more PowerPoints. Yeah, so maybe you've been in a moment like that. Or maybe it was just something else. Maybe your parents asked you to clean your room and you said, yeah, I'm going to clean it, and you never did. These are just small, little moments where we've overpromised and underdelivered. Where we said we'd do one thing and we did another instead. But I wonder if you've ever had a moment where you said something like this to God. God, I'm so sorry about what I've just done. I promise I'm going to read my Bible every single day for the rest of the year. I know it's only December 25th, but I'll do it for the rest of the week. You know, like I don't have that much time. But maybe you made a promise with God. Or maybe it was something like, God, I'm going to pray more. I promise I'm going to pray more, God. Or maybe you were like my friend in Year 9 who lost her glasses. And I remember her, she was so terrified about losing her glasses because they were new and they were expensive and she knew she was going to get in trouble. I remember her, she wasn't even a Christian, but she said to God, she said, God, if you can please help me find my glasses, I will go to church every week. And she found her glasses and never went to church. Ooh, I know, that's going to be fun on Judgment Day, isn't it? Probably, it might get brought up. You might be like, hey, remember that moment when you were 15 and you made that promise? What happened there? But these are big questions because we tend to sometimes make these big statements. We say, God, I'm going to do this. We overpromise and we never act on it and we underdeliver. We overpromise and we underdeliver. And today we're going to look at this parable as we continue on our parable series about something very similar that happens. And it's really important for us to look at this because it's going to be very helpful for us as we move forward in our lives. Because I don't know about you, but I'm always disappointed when someone overpromises and underdelivers. And I wonder if God feels the same way when we look to Him too. So we're going to jump into the Bible, Matthew chapter 21, verses 28 to 32. So please get your Bibles out, even if it's on your phone, and read along with me. It will be on the screen, but just read along. I love encouraging us to read your Bibles because it's important to do. Now, it says this. It says, what do you think? There was a man who had 2 sons. And he went to the first son and he said, Son, go and work today in the vineyard. I will not, the first son answered, but later he changed his mind and went. Then the father went and talked to the second son. And he said the same thing, will you go and work in the vineyard? And this son said, I will, sir, but didn't go. Now, which of these 2 did what the father wanted? Which one? The answer's on the screen. Which one is it?
First one.
Correct. Well done. Correct. Yep, you did that on that. Well done. The first one, they answered. And Jesus said to them, truly I tell you, the tax collectors and the prostitutes are entering the kingdom of God ahead of you. For John came to you to show you the way of righteousness, and you did not believe him. But the tax collectors and the prostitutes did. And even after you saw this, you did not repent and believe him. Now, before we look any further into this passage, I just want to highlight a couple of things that this parable shows us. The first thing is, notice that these 2 sons have the same father. And this is a really just just an underlying principle for all of us, that all of us in this room share the same Heavenly Father. See, God created every single one of us. So He is our Heavenly Father. He's our Creator. He's our Sustainer. He's our Father in this story. So we all have the same Father. But notice that these two sons are asked to do the exact same thing from their father. And so while we all have the same Father, and we see that in the story, both sons have the same Father, we also need to understand that we're all asked and called to do the same thing. See, while you all may have different careers in the future, you might have different things that you love to do or that you're good at, the truth is that overarching all of these things, you'll all be called and asked by God to do the same thing. You'll, number one, you'll be asked by God to be in a relationship with Him. That's the first ask. God asks each of us, will you be in relationship with me? And then the second thing that God will ask of us is this question: will you go and work in the vineyard? Or in our case, will you go and share the good news? Will you be people who make disciples? Will you be people who baptize other people? Will you be people who help me build the kingdom? So we all have the same Father, and we all have the same call. And these are the first couple of things that we really need to understand in this passage. Because then what we see happening is this: these two sons are going to represent two different types of people. And most of us will fall into these two categories. We'll either identify with the first son or with the second son. Now the first son seems like a bit of a brat. Like, let's be real, a bit of a brat. Like, you guys know that if your parents come up to you and say, can you please do your homework? Or can you please clean your room? You can't, to their face, say, I won't. I will not. Because you know if you do that, you'll get in trouble. Or they won't be happy with you. Or they'll discipline you. Or they're like, you know what, whatever you're doing, stop it. You're going to go do it now for having such a bad attitude. You know that, right? Or maybe that's just my parents. But if I talk back to them like that, I got in trouble. But this son's just like, so it's like, please son, will you help us in our family business? No dad, I won't. And then just like walks off. Like, seriously, this kid's a brat. And he's one of these people that you go, man, he's not a nice guy. He's probably not a Christian. He doesn't like Jesus. You know, like you're looking at him like that. But what we see in this story is that he says no, but he goes back and actually does what his father asked him, even though he said no. And what's interesting is in the story that there's no moment where we see that he's not allowed to do what his father asked him to do, even though he said no. You know, there's none of this. He gets to the vineyard gate and he's like, hey guys, I'm here to work. And they're like, well, your dad said that you weren't going to, so no, you're not allowed to. You've been kicked out, you've been removed. And what we learn in this story is, even though some of us here, when God asks us to firstly be in a relationship with Him and to join Him and work with Him, say no, there is always an opportunity for us to change our mind. See, God will always give you the opportunity. God will always give you the time to change your mind. Literally, notice how the Father doesn't say, well, you know what, stuff you, son, you're not allowed to be involved anymore. Doesn't keep him out of home, doesn't keep him out of the family business, but there's actually an opportunity for him to come back and choose to do what his Father asked him to do. And that same invitation is extended to all of you. That if you're sitting here this morning and you are thinking or feeling like, I probably have said no to God. I feel like I've said no to a relationship with Him. I feel like I said no to doing what God asked me to do. I feel like I said no to just to being a part of what He wants to do in this world. I feel like I've already said no. Well, I want you to know this morning that there is still an opportunity for you to be in a relationship with Him. There is still time for you to change your mind. God is always gracious and always open to you coming back, to you coming home. That's what we learned from the first son. That God will always give us the opportunity to change our mind, even if we've already said no. The second son, though, represents a different thing. See, this son is one of those guys who just looks real nice. But he's obviously super passive aggressive. Like, his father has invited him to work in the fields, and he says, I will. And then doesn't do anything about it. See, this son knows how to work his dad. You know what I mean? Like, when your parents come up to you and they ask you, hey, can you go clean your room? You know that the right thing to say is, yes, I can go and do that. But you know that you don't want to do it, so you don't do it. That's exactly what this son has done. passage, what we learn from this son is something that's super important for our relationship with God, and I actually think our relationship with all people. See, this son didn't do what his father wanted. This son put forward some empty words, and he failed to be obedient. And see, this is what we learn. God doesn't want your empty words. He wants your faithful obedience. That's what God wants. He wants your faithful obedience, not your empty words. See, when we get to the end of the story, Jesus asks the question, which one did what the Father wanted? The first son. And that's what we have to first understand, is that God wants our obedience, not just our words. See, God doesn't care if you sit here and you come here on a Sunday morning and you say, God, I'm so sorry, this week is going to be so different. I promise, if nothing changes. And think about it. If you're in a friendship, you've got a friend who does something that absolutely drives you insane, I don't know, just say they're one of those people, they walk around and they just randomly break into song. I had friends like this. They would randomly sing. It was annoying. They were guys. It was weird. I was 19. I was walking the streets. And you just say something, right? You'd say a sentence and it might remind them of a song. And they would just start singing. You know, I'd be like, wow, that's a really cute baby over there. And they're like, baby, baby, baby. Oh, just like that. Just like subtle under their breath. You could hear it. And it was a really annoying thing. It would be anywhere. We'd be in the pub, having a meal together. Some conversation about all of a sudden they're singing Backstreet's Back. All right, you're like, shut up, and stop singing all these songs all the time. It's weird and it's annoying. And I remember saying once, I said, mate, I know you'd like to sing, but can you stop singing as we're walking down the street or in random locations? I know songs might come over, please, just stop it. It's so weird and it's so annoying and I hate it. So I'm so sorry, man, I promise I won't do it again. Next time we hung out, guess what happened? Did it again. Of course he did. It's what happened. But those things are annoying because I'm not asking for him to tell me that he's going to stop doing it. I'm asking for him to stop doing it. Another example, it's just small, but we know these things are annoying and we know these things matter. My wife and I have a chase in our house, like one of the couches and there's like a long loungy bit. Well, sometimes I'm lying down on the chase and I'm lying down with my legs over the edge, like this. So I'm lying like this on the chase. And sometimes I just kick my feet on the ground and it drives me insane. It's just like this. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's just like that. And it's just like, man, stop, it's so flippin' annoying. I'm so sorry, I'll stop. But I keep doing it because I forget to change. But that's the thing, my empty words don't matter. It's not enough for me to say, I'll stop doing it. You actually have to stop doing it. And in this case, it's not enough for this young man to be like, I will go. I will do what you've asked me to do and not do it. And that's important for you to know. Because that's all God's asking for. See, if you are here this morning and you feel like, you know what, I've been distant from God, I've been far away from God, I want to be close to God, I want to live more like God, you don't need this morning to decide to make a promise or a deal with God. That's not what He's looking for. He's not looking for you to come here and be on your knees or be in your seats and be like, God, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, God. I want to be close to you, God. I'm going to tell everyone at my school about you, Jesus. He's not looking for these big promises. He's just looking for your faithful obedience. So when these things happen, it's so much simpler and so much smaller. All God wants you to do. When you go, God, I want to be more like you, God, I want to join with what you're doing, all you have to do is this. God, I'm sorry, and I'd like to be closer to you. That's it. That's the gospel. That's the good news. God doesn't give us more work or harder work to do. And the truth is that that's all God wants. He just wants some faithful words and some faithful obedience. See, that's what God's after. Faithful words and faithful obedience. And we know that because Jesus had these two things together. Faithful words and faithful obedience. See, God made this promise in Genesis 15. In Genesis 15, sin had entered the world, everything was falling apart, and God made a covenant promise with Abraham. A really serious, big promise with Abraham, where he was like, if this thing falls apart, I will pay the penalty for it, I will deal with the pain, I will sort all of this out, I will fix this problem in Genesis 15. And then for a couple of thousand years, it doesn't seem like God's really doing anything about it. It looks like God has overpromised and underdelivered. But then Jesus arrives on the scene. And Jesus lives the perfect life, dies the death that he doesn't deserve, and rises again so that God's faithful words can be fulfilled by Jesus' faithful obedience. And that's all that God is asking for us to, just for us to choose some faithful words and to choose to be faithfully obedient to. And it makes it so much simpler for you. You don't need to overpromise. In fact, all you need to do is just to ask God to help you do what he's asking you to do. Because it says in the Bible that the Holy Spirit has filled us and it will lead us into all truth and all righteousness. It will empower us, and it's that same power that raised Christ from the dead at work in us. Do you not think that that power will help you do what God is asking you to do? All we have to be is faithfully obedient to what God is asking us to do. So what I want to do is I'm going to invite Abby up. She's just going to play some keys for us, and I'm just going to give us a moment to reflect on what we just heard about today. Because I think that there are people in this room who identify with the first son or with the second son. You've been young and you feel like, you know what, I said no to God, but I want to come back to God. And thankfully God has given me more time. God has given me this opportunity. And so that's you. I want you to spend some time just talking with God about it. But some of you might be the second person, and you realise that you maybe have made some big promises to God, and maybe you haven't quite fulfilled. And that's okay. That's all good. But this morning, maybe it's time to just come back to God and say, God, I'm sorry that I overpromised and underdelivered. And help me to just do what you've asked me to do. That's all I want to do. I just want to do what you've asked me to do. Nothing more, nothing less. So why don't you just close your eyes and bow your heads. Chances are you already know which person you are in this story. You already know which son you are, the first son or the second son. And so what I want you to do is, if you are the first son, just spend some time going, God, I want to come back to you. God, I know I might have said no, or I've been living a life that looks like I've said no. And God, I don't want that anymore. I want to be with you. So if that's you, just spend some time just praying to him right now. But if you identify with the second son, just come to him and say, God, I'm sorry that I've overpromised